Greetings, YouTube. Someone yesterday in one of the comment threads about my move asked me what it was for the process involved in purchasing a home. Now, I'm not an expert. I've only done this once. But I can give you my experience in getting a foreclosed property. This whole process took about 4 months from beginning to end. And it was, without a doubt, the most stressful process I have ever lived through. It was uniquely situated so that it pretty much pushed every psychological and emotional button I've got. This won't be true for most people. I unfortunately have the disadvantage of suffering from depression, and I have a number of anxiety issues. And they just happened to be a domino effect that I was completely unaware of. That when this process started, it went dook, and these things went and just drove me deeper into depression than I've ever been in my entire life. And it was very unpleasant. I was a miserable bastard, and at the moment I'm still not the most pleasant person to be around. I know I don't show it here, but I have been in a state of almost constant rage for about a month, and I'm tired of it. And I'm hoping that I can now alleviate myself from it. I don't do this video as a whiny complaint looking for sympathy. I'm just trying to say that this process was very stressful for me, and it's going to be stressful for some people as much. So you need to be aware of that fact. So we originally started the process quite a while ago where we got ourselves a realtor, and I think she might have been recommended from someone my mother-in-law knew, I'm not positive. And she took us out like one day to look at some properties, and she completely ignored our parameters. We said, this is the amount of money we have. This is it. You need to work within this, this little framework here. And with the market being what it was, that was a realistic goal. Well, as soon as we started looking, she was looking at stuff that was either in what we wanted or, surprise, surprise, just outside what we wanted. And after one day of looking at properties that were either completely inappropriate for like split-level family units that had no second place for my mother-in-law to live, we would have to do a complete renovation of the basements to get them to be an apartment for her, to one building that had holes like this in the walls, just blown through, that looked like they had animals living in them, and I mean it was just horrible. So she had no realistic idea of what we actually wanted. So we got rather depressed about that, and we severed our relationship with her. And so we started looking around, and a friend of mine had once suggested, and my wife had heard about this, that you go to a buyer. Now, a buyer is a person that does nothing but buys homes. They don't sell realty of any way, shape, or form. So there is no conflict of interest. They're not trying to sell one person's property while trying to sell that to somebody else. They're just out buying. They're your advocate, and that's what you need in this process. So we found a woman named Janet White. I'm not actually 100% sure where my wife found her from or not. But she was a gift from the gods. She was the only person in this entire process that was worth a darn, that made this survivable. Without her, I don't think I would have made it through this at all. She walked us through it. She sat us down for 2.5 hours the first day and just walked us through every single conceivable step of that process, all of them, until we understood what was going on. She then started showing us properties, and the properties she showed us met our parameters. They were in the right price range. They were sort of in the right place. We places that we could live, kind of thing. Some were, of course, crap. It's a gamble. You throw those dice, you get lucky sometimes. We found one property that we really liked. It was right across the street from the cemetery where my stepbrother Donnie is. Long ago I did a video of I bought my brother Donnie. And it was great. You look out the window at the living room, and there was this beautiful cemetery right across the street. It was awesome. So you're never going to have neighbors across the street. I had a great view of the sky. It was awesome. And we found out the roof needed to be replaced. The owners didn't want to replace it, so we had to walk away. We didn't lose anything on the process other than the inspection fee, which was $500, but that was it. So we started casting our dice again, and we started looking around. We looked at property after property after property until we found this one. And we put a bid on it, and we went a little bit under, not by much. I think $1,000, $2,000 under. But we got outbid by somebody else. We were depressed because this property really was going to suit our needs. So about 2 weeks later, it went back in the market again. My wife had set up an internet program. She found that would give her alerts for any house that came on market in the area we were looking within our price range. So bing, came back on the market. So we made another offer. This time we went slightly over the amount, not by much, like $1,000. We got the bid. Now, this is where the problem started. Because once we put the bid in, it seemed like everyone involved in this process, except for us and Janet White, suddenly became utterly and absolutely disinterested. It was like suddenly they didn't want to sell it to us. I was dealing with the Veterans Administration because it was owned by them, a bank, 2 realtors, and a financial institution. And getting all of these people to speak to each other and to communicate with each other and to do things in any kind of an orderly, sensible manner was a Herculean task. It was immense. Then you had to bring inspectors in. Then eventually I had to bring a contractor in because there were enough repairs on this place that needed to be done before the bank would actually say, yeah, we'll sell it to you, because otherwise we're afraid it's going to cost them money because the building's going to fall down or something. So I rolled them into a 203K finance loan, or a rehab loan. And all of this coordination was incredible. I've never seen a process this complex. It does not amaze me in the least that our housing market collapsed in America, because if this is what most people go through, I'm amazed that anyone buys property at all. But it finally got done. I signed my name so many bloody times, I could probably do it in my sleep now. We'd get emailed documents, so we'd print them out, we'd sign them, we'd scan them, we'd send them back in. And we did this day after day after day, it seemed like. And they were complaining, oh, these document scans weren't clean enough. And I'm like, oh, what do you want? We're downloading the document from the site you told us to download it from. We're printing it out on a standard paper to discover it was supposed to have been printed out on legal size paper. Do you know anyone that has the ability to print on legal size paper in their home? Because I don't. Outside of an office, I don't know anyone that uses legal size paper. So yeah, there were some communication issues. But when it was all said and done, we achieved our goal, which is this. We now own a home. And I can do what I say and what I want in this place forever. Because when I leave this place, I'm going feet first in a body bag. I ain't never leaving. Of course, now we also have the unpacking process. And we're still hauling stuff out of the apartment. We've got one trip left. It's amazing how much stuff we have. And we're getting rid of stuff as fast as we can. We're throwing things out as we're finding them. As we're unpacking, we're getting rid of some things as fast as we can. We've got stuff in the garage. We have a few things in the basement. The basement's a little on the damp side, so you can't put a lot down there. And of course, over there, see over there? That right there is a bear. But I'm working as fast as I can. You can't see it at the moment, but I've actually gotten some of the gaming books over in gaming box sets in the corner starting to get done. I did like 5 or 6 boxes yesterday. So I need to do like 9 or 12 a day between now and when I go on come off of a vacation, and because I'm on vacation to the 7th, until hopefully I'll get everything unpacked that I need to get unpacked by then. But fingers crossed. So I hope that this helps somebody out there who's looking for a property. Find a buyer. Be prepared for all the possible stress you can imagine and more. And stick with it. Don't give up. You will achieve what you want if you just work hard enough. And it helps if you got a good partner, because my wife is a goddess.